Welcome to the Prep Pigskin Report podcast, hosted by Papa Pig himself, Paul Rudy.
Modern-day linebacker Tre Edwards, four-star recruit, reigning CAF Defensive Player of the Year. Welcome to the show, Tre.
Hey, Tre.
Hello. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, you bet. First of all, let's start with let's work backwards. The news of the day. I reached out to you and said, hey, I reached out to you and said, thanks for committing on KUSI. And can we just kind of go back to that day and tell us what that moment was like?
The moment for me, it was a big moment because, I've been in contact with KUSI since I was in youth. So being able to commit on the big stage in front of all the audience and stuff was amazing to me.
And Tre, you got on UCLA pretty quick. I think you visited there and then you took a night and then the next day you called up, is it Ken Norton? He's the linebacker coach, right?
Yeah.
Former Niners guy?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Former heavyweight champion.
Wow, that's a big league position coach, Tre.
Yes.
So did you have just a connection with him, the school, both? I guess my question to ask you, because I know Ken, he's a great coach, great player. If Ken was at Oregon, would you maybe commit to Oregon? Or is it more the two together were what you wanted?
I would say it's more of the two together. Ken Norton did play a big factor, but UCLA as a school was also a big thing to me. So it wasn't just him, it was the overall school as well.
I would think, and tell me if this factored into it, Oregon, I get it. It was a very cool place to go, and I'm sure a lot of kids are still going to flock to Oregon. But it's geographically undesirable in the sense that if you have family and friends that you want to have come see you play, that's quite a hike to get to Eugene, whereas the LA neighborhood, that's just a hike, it's just a little drive down the road. Did that factor into your decision at all?
I would say it did a little bit because, playing in front of my parents is a thing I've done my whole life. So just being able to continue to play in front of them, knowing that they can make every game because it's only a 2-hour drive up.
Right.
Also,
you guys can carpool with the Robinsons, too. Did you and Roderick, I know you guys are friends. Did you guys kind of even talk about maybe going to the same school together, or it just happened that way?
I would say we talked about it a little bit, but it was more of the week before we both committed, we had mentioned it to each other, but we weren't 100% sure. It was more of an idea that was out there, but it wasn't confirmed.
Hey, in that hamburger drill, when it's you and him, which way is the ball going to advance? Are you going to hold him in that head-on collision?
What is a hamburger drill?
Wait, where the ball carrier and the runner...
We call that the Oklahoma drill.
In the Oklahoma drill...
The hamburger drill. Sorry.
Why are you part of this? Tre, let me get back. In the Oklahoma drill, does that suffice?
Or the hamburger drill, whatever you want.
In that head-to-head showdown between you and Roderick, who gets the better end of that contact?
I don't know. I guess we'll have to see week 4.
Wow. Oh, what a great answer.
So, Tre, going on that, you look like you lost a little weight. How much you weighing now?
Right now I'm weighing 220, 225.
Oh, so you didn't really lose any weight. You look a little thinner. I was telling, we had Clark, your godfather, on last week, and we're talking about you in youth. I got to watch you in youth. A lot of people don't know you're probably one of the best running backs in the country as a youth player. Do you miss that at all? Do you ever tell Coach Joyner or Verlaine that you want to play a little running back?
To be completely honest, no. Even in youth, I didn't like running back that much. It was a thing I kind of had to do, but I prefer defense either way.
Really? That's surprising.
He said, and I think he said it without much hesitation, that you were the best youth football player to come through his program with the East Lake Panthers. Well, when you hear something like that, I don't maybe even saw him say it. What does that mean to you?
For me, it's a big accomplishment because there's been a lot of great players like C.J. Verdell and those type of guys who he also coached as well and who also played in the program. But I would say the main thing was the coaching staff. The coaching staff were the people who got us to where we were. So I feel like they're the ones who led me to be such a great youth player. So
Tre, you guys, we haven't put the schedule out, but I would say our game of the week might be Cathedral, Modern Day, and the opener.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a safe bet.
Let me just go over your first 4 games because, everybody with Modern Day says, they don't, they're Division III, they don't play this big schedule. Cathedral, then week 2 Carlsbad, then Red Mountain in Arizona for the Honor Bowl, and then Lincoln. That's a pretty big jump up in the schedule. You guys at least I mean, it's somewhat worried maybe? I mean, that's a pretty big time schedule.
Nah, we're not worried. We're just focusing on ourselves, taking it week by week.
How could they be worried with the lineup that they're going to take the field with what, 13 D1? How many D1 guys are going to be on your opening day roster if everybody's healthy?
I would say I think it's around like 12 to 13, if I can remember correctly.
I counted 13, but I might lose track of what schools are considered D1 and D2. But still, I mean, Tre, 10 years, 20 years from now, you're going to look back at this team, and maybe it was one of the greatest teams you've ever played on. I mean, it's really, really star-studded. I would think people would be more afraid of playing them than them afraid of playing others. But Tre, would you like to elaborate on that?
I would say just being a part of, like, I know we're all like, we have 13 guys who are going Division I, but I feel like it's more than that with them. Just being able to look back in like 20 years, just saying, I've played with these guys since I was like 8 years old. I grew up with them. So I feel like that would be like a big thing as well. Just being able to play with the guys I played with since we were basically in diapers. So
yeah, I mean, it's crazy because you guys have more Division I guys on this squad than my high schools had in their entire history. I mean, that's how. I mean, you don't get a lot of high schools that have 13 D1 guys in their history, let alone in 1 year.
I don't know that my high school has any.
Besides you. Well, that hamburger drill took a lot of people.
Tre, don't laugh. You encourage him.
Sorry,
you encourage him.
So, Tre, that's the other question, because I always wonder this. I don't know how you guys do it, and every time we talk, everybody says how you're the leader of the team, but how do you keep 13 D1 guys, and a lot of them are on offense, happy because only one can get the ball at a time? I mean, even, like, how do you keep those guys happy? I mean, you're there every day, and it's mostly offensive guys.
To be honest, I feel like the biggest thing for them is none of them are selfish. So even if they're not getting the ball, they'll go block for their teammate. I feel like the main thing with them is just they all want to see each other eat and perform the best. So I feel like that plays a big factor. They're not an I player, they're a team player.
So another part, I'm going to go back to youth one more time. So I've been watching you since, what, second grade probably? Your dad, Larry, coached you. Obviously, Clark coached you. If I would have asked you in second grade, because I think I did, and you might have said you was going to go to Pitt, I think you told me you would go to Pitt. You did, but you didn't. I mean, was UCLA, because we get a lot of players on here, and they all know where they want to go since they were young. If I would have asked you when you were second, third, fourth grade, where would you have said?
In second grade, I think that was like when Oregon was like the super, super good school, and they had all the flashy uniforms and all of that.
Yeah.
So I think in second grade, I probably would have said Oregon just because of the uniforms, because I think every kid liked how Oregon's uniforms were so flashy and popped out.
Absolutely. So, how many school visits did you make?
Official visits or just visits in general?
How many places did you visit?
I think 4, 5.
And can you share with us what they were?
I visited USC my freshman going into sophomore year. I visited Cal, Berkeley, Arizona, Oregon, and UCLA.
So, like, when you make your announcement, do you call the other schools in advance of that announcement, or do you call them after, or do you not have any contact? When you make your decision, do you just rely on social media for the word to get out, or what's the protocol for a blue chip recruit like yourself?
I text the coaches letting them know, like, thank you for recruiting me, but I'll be going to I let them know in advance. So it's not like I feel like it's disrespectful if I just post it without letting them know.
Is it like, girlfriend, boyfriend in high school where they won't let it go and they're like, no, I'm better and stay with me, baby, it'll be the best? Any of that, or they take it well?
Some schools are like that, but then there's some schools who are like, oh, congratulations, proud of you, wish the best for you. But there's also the schools who are trying to convince me that they're a better school than UCLA. So it goes both ways.
Well, technically, it's not official yet, right? I mean, I'm not going there, but just until you sign on the dotted line, is the phone still ringing?
No, my recruitment's 100% shut down.
All right, so you've let everyone know that, barring some sort of calamity, this is a done deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I read, I don't know if you read yesterday, but I want to talk to you a little bit about NIL, and you're in LA, so I mean, and everybody's made it clear that UCLA's probably put out about $20 million to get transfers. Miami just gave a kid, a 4-star quarterback, $9 million and outbid Florida for him that gave up $11 million. Did NIL ever come up in any of your recruiting?
We've reviewed like the NIL presentations of like when you get there and like all the stuff that they do for their athletes, but money it's not really a factor now.
I know that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the world we live in now. I mean,
yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, you can ignore it for only so long, right?
Yeah.
Tre, I mean, I asked this for everybody. I'm sure you watch us, so you're gonna know. You're on the PPR. We're at the meeting, and right now it's the beginning of the year. Who are your top 5 for the Silver Pigskin Award? Who's on the podium before the season? And mind you, this is going to be another problem at Mater Dei because you have maybe 6 guys that could be on there. You can only have 1 from each school, and then the fans have to vote on the other ones. So you're not allowed to have 2 guys. We can't pick 2 guys from the same school. Who are your top 5? You can put yourself on there. Don't worry.
Nah, I won't do that. You guys, I mean, I feel like we have 2 guys at Mater Dei, which is Dominic Nankill, who I personally feel like should have won it last year, but we'll let that be. Then Jeremiah McClure, I would say Rod Robinson, and those are the only 3 I could really think of, to be completely honest.
Julius Sayin.
Oh, him as well.
Major Givens. And then we have Jax Leatherwood on there, too.
Jax Leatherwood.
Yeah, we hear a lot of him.
But you know what? There's going to be some kid that we are not even talking about, Tre, that watch.
It comes out of nowhere.
It's just going to have, it happens every year. It throws a monkey, someone gets hurt.
And that's part of the thing. We always, I'm never part of the meetings. They don't let me part of the meetings for the Silver Pigskin, thankfully. But we ask a player every week, and it's hard for the players even to pick. So imagine how hard it is for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What would it mean to you to lift that trophy?
It would mean a lot to me because I've seen a lot of people, a lot of great athletes whose names are on that trophy. So I feel like it would be a big accomplishment. Been wanting to do that since I was a little kid, ever since I started watching PPR.
But it is kind of like the Heisman. You never get a defensive guy on there.
But
you can play a little running back, Tre.
I'm
just
saying. Tre's pedigree. I mean,
I think you should play a little running back.
Well, I mean, you're not even in the offensive side of the ball anymore, right? I mean, there's no special package for the Edwards package, the jumbo package.
There was last year, but
yeah, you caught a couple touchdown passes last year. I remember seeing that.
Yeah,
he did catch a couple touchdown passes out of the backfield.
All right, so why do you like football so much?
I would say it was just the first sport I was introduced to at 3 years old, and my whole family, my dad's coach played, all my brothers played, so like I've just been around the sport my whole entire life, and I've just loved it ever since I was 2 years old, running around at my brother's practices and playing around with them in the backyard. So.
And McKinley's at Concordia, right?
Yeah, Concordia St. Paul.
So when you guys come back, because I know you've done it before, can McKinley cover you or no?
We've actually never done that because, we both play defense now, so we've never tried that.
I still have you at offense. I just can't get you at defense. I'm sorry. I just watched you run the ball. I mean, he would run for 300 yards every game in youth.
You have done it, Clark has done it, and now Tre has alluded to it a little bit. The importance of your dad in your development as a young man. Could you speak to your father, the things that you admire most about him and in your development?
I would just say my dad's a great role model. He's led me through the right path, but he's always pushed me. Like, I know some people play daddy ball, but my dad was the type who was always harder on me, always wanted the best for me, and just pushed me to my limits because he knew it would bring the best out of me. And that's why I feel like that's where I'm at today, because him and Coach Clark both pushed me to my limits and didn't allow any shortcuts.
So you had, I mean, from flag all the way up to high school, you've had them as your coaches. I remember Clark would your dad would coach, everybody else would coach, and Clark would just give out Skittles to the kids and eat Skittles on the sideline. But now he's Nick Saban, so it's a little different now. Do you have the same memory? I mean, Clark always had Skittles in his pocket.
Yeah, I remember that.
Hey, why is he not coaching at the high school level?
That is a great question that I don't have an answer to.
I
don't think he wants to.
Well, I mean, but I mean, if I'm a high school program and seeing the success he's had at the youth program, you know that that's not an accident. He's been doing it for too long. I would, geez, there's so many high schools out there that deserve to have.
And Rick Jackson did that for, he coached
well, I know,
youth
and look how it worked out for Madison.
Yeah.
All
They
right,
did
so
them at the same time.
young man, what are your interests outside of football?
My interests outside of football.
Yeah, I mean, like, do you have a favorite subject in school? Do you video games? Or I mean, when you're not lifting, working out, or are you just football 100% 24/7?
I lift and work out a lot, but I mean, on my free time, which I do have a lot of, I tend to play video games a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a video game type of person.
What game do you play?
It goes from NBA 2K, Madden, and MLB The Show.
And Trey, when did you stop? Because I remember when you were younger, you were a great baseball player too. When did you stop playing baseball?
I stopped this past year.
Was that hard, or did you miss it, or no?
I miss it every now and then, but I realized what I did was the best for me, so.
All right.
Got to play those video games. You got to get time for that.
Well, listen, we're coming up on the on our.
Are you overtime again?
We're overtime again. So you got any questions you want to ask?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I just want to see Trey,
Well, Trey,
hamburger drill. That's what I want to see.
Trey, we can count on you showing up at the Silver Pigskin Gala in whatever capacity, right?
Yes.
And heartfelt thanks from everybody here at KUSI for PPR. It was a big moment. We love sharing those kind of moments with you guys before you go off to your next level of your career and the level beyond that. So I remember when Bert and I were on the PPR, you were being interviewed after a game, and we asked you if you were going to do it, and you said yes, and I turned to Bert and I go, I don't think he means it. And then sure enough, I saw you, I was on vacation, saw you and Brandon together, and young man, that means a lot. And I just I reached out to you then, and I want to reach out to you now saying thank you for being such a good friend of the show.
Thank you, guys.
You bet. All right, you're a free man. Go ahead and turn the machine off.
Thanks, Trey.
Thank you, guys.